Dr. Adetukumba Adedeji joins us next on the program today to get his perspective as well on the goings-on. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you all very much for having me here.
Well, everyone just focusing on where we are today, where we need to be tomorrow, and some on where we're coming from, as a matter of fact. But in all of this, how do you capture this scenario now?
To be honest with you, the issue that is on the front burner today has always been an issue in Nigeria since Nigeria was formed as a nation. But it has continued to grow by leaps and bounds in strength.
Meaning what? We're not really addressing what the issues are?
That's precisely right.
So what are these issues?
Now, the issue of corruption has a foundation in the way we were from the beginning and the way we have carried on up till today. We have been strange bedfellows brought together in the amalgamation of Nigeria in 1914. And the foundation that was laid for us was not properly laid for us to congeal over time. And we have not been able to congeal up until this moment as a nation. And that is the reason why you have found that people who continue to run government will always play the game of, when I go back home, what do I have to show for it? What are the people who are looking up to me from where I have come from?
So what, people are looking for the proverbial cake?
Precisely that.
Oh.
And to that extent, people who get into government will always say, when I get back home, I have enough to share. When I get back home, I'm going to be able to say to them, even if you're not there with me, this is your own share of the cake. That has been the bane of our society. We have continued along that path, and it has gotten to a point that it is no longer what I'm going to give to the people who have sent me. It is what am I going to give to my family. What
must we do to be saved, to address this?
To be saved.
We really need to be saved, don't we?
What must we do?
We really need to be saved, don't we?
Nicodemus,
Well, in reality, what we need to do is to do a major restructuring of society. Societies world over have gone through the phase that we're going through. America went through the same phase back in time. But they needed to do what we're likely to get into today, which is to start from the headship, being a person who upholds integrity, who upholds rule of law, who upholds accountability, and who is prepared to look for individuals who will share the same values with him.
To what extent can we tick that on the checklist?
Right now, I'm not avert to the president saying that he's not going to choose anybody until September. Because in the first instance, he has to be able to get a perspective of who and who will qualify to work with him with this measure of integrity that he has put on board. A number of things that you need to appreciate is this. They say when the head of the fish is rotten, the whole body is rotten. Now, if the head stays good, so he needs the other parts of the body to stay good too. So essentially what the president is doing at this moment is to be able to sift the chaff from the core. Because if he does not do that, then any one person that he puts as a working minister in the country that has a stain is a stain on him. Is a stain on his sense of judgment. Is a stain on the society itself, because we have many more Nigerians who are capable of showing integrity, working with integrity, and being honest to be able to move the nation forward. We have many of them.
If it then goes and chooses these people, for which you say you will have many of them, and they are out there, professionals, technocrats, if you will, and they get on board, the question will then be, will the politicians, I mean, he's a politician now, will they all agree with his decision if they don't come from the party?
I think that would be for the society to judge. I think that would be for the society to judge. Because politicians are not independent of the rest of society.
So if it would be for the society to judge, will it be for the political party to allow?
To the extent that they are out there to work, and if their work speaks for them, then I wouldn't be able to hear the voice of the politicians even if they complain. Because my focus will probably be on the good work that the team is out there to do.
So another, okay.
Okay, you know, when you started, you talked about the way we were, the way we are, and the way we're continuing. What should be done to solve that little equation that seemed to be causing friction from then, now, and towards the future?
That's a big question. We all need to sit down and ask ourselves, who are we? What do we want ourselves to be? Yes, we touched on it some time ago when we were talking about national conference. Really, it is not just national conference. It is a conference where even the man out there, a vulcanizer, will be able to say his own.
But how would that be? I mean, when we talk about national conference, people ask the question, how can you possibly get 160 million plus people into a place to say who they are and what they want?
It calls for memorandum. People will be able to do that in their own small enclave, and a collection of that will be what people are likely to work with. You see, the reality of our society today is that we're afraid to say the truth to each other. It is true that we're still tribalistic in our perspectives. It is very true. And we need to overcome that. We need to be able to say, meritocracy comes first. If a person is someone that is identified to be good in this area, let the 1,000 of them be from the East. Put them in there, let them work. Because that is the only way we can make progress, for God's sake.